Right folks, it's time to knock up some evil resin, some blood, some veins, and some gore. Right, so there is our mould, folks. Hopefully this will hold out. Now I've done this in clear plastic because I want you to experience what I'm about to do. So we're gonna knock up some resin and we're gonna mix up some colors just because I want this to be, you know, a cool shape, and it's not really a cool shape. There's not really a lot I can do with it as it is until I kind of get that shape. So let's pour some resin.
Here's some I made earlier.
Now I knocked this up earlier on because I've been leaving it to set, because we're going to need this to set for about an hour and a half before we add some colour, so it makes it nice and thick so the colours don't mix.
A few minutes later.
Oh, oh man, I left it too long, didn't I? I was supposed to leave it just right so I could put some colour in, because it's best to let it sort of set for a bit so it mixes well with the rest of the resin, but I've left it too long and it's gone off. It's gone off. It's gone off in the pot. Oh, look. I mean, it looks pretty cool though, doesn't it? Look at that. That does look quite smart. We should just do a project just based on kind of that happening, but I've left the stick in there, so that's not going to be cool enough, is it really? Or I might be able to use it on another project, but so it's gone off too quick. Can't use it, can't put any colour in there. Rubbish. I'm gonna have to go again. Right folks, so I've knocked up a couple more here. And this one's getting warmer. Not quite there yet, but it's getting warmer. 41, well it's basically 46 in there. So, gonna add some colour. Picked these up the other day. Not too sure what colours to go with because we're not gonna see a lot of this, okay folks? So, I'm gonna have a lot of this wood, this project. It's gonna be more wood than it is resin and stuff, because I think I love this piece of wood and I wanna show off all the features in it. So I think we're gonna go with maybe a little bit of black. I think that might look quite nice. Maybe a bit of red. What about black and red? Are we concurring? Are we concurring? I think black and red might look quite smart. Now, some of you know that I'm partial to a bit of gaming, and recently I've been playing Raid Shadow Legends. I wanted to tell you that Raid are running one of their biggest events to date. It's called Asgard Divide. You would not want to mess with this guy. He looks tough, doesn't he? Real tough.
Violence it is.
Oh. No one's going to survive this.
You fed up
no one.
Cleaning up the guard's mess.
He is one bad mess. Oh man. Now there is some amazing new characters here, folks. And I want to tell you, you're probably wondering, how am I going to get these? Well, let me tell you. Asgard Divide runs from the 21st of August, which is gone. But don't worry. To November the 22nd, with players being able to collect 4 champions based off the Norse mythology. Now, as I said, the 4 champions are Loki the Deceiver, Odin the Fair Father, Thor the Fair Hammer, and Freya the Fate Weaver. They act as Raid's unique take on these familiar figures from the Norse mythology, casting them of members of the mysterious and powerful Fae that are present in the world of Tellera. Now don't worry, everyone can get a legendary champion. Loki the Deceiver is free. And all you gotta do is log on to Raid for 7 days between now and October the 23rd. Players can then log in for an additional 7 days after that to earn even more rewards and access a second phase of rewards once the 14 days of login bonus has been earned. So if you haven't started playing Raid yet, what are you waiting for, folks? It's amazing. Just click my link in the description or scan my QR code, wherever that is, to get these insane bonuses. And don't forget, after reaching level 15, you'll get the epic bonus champion Knight Errant. You will immediately get a huge starter pack with an epic champion Tagore from the Orc faction. Come and join my clan. I'll see you in there.
Loving that colour. Yes.
Now black is a bit of a dangerous colour because it could just all go black, but hopefully that's why we're waiting for the resin to seal up and get warmer. So I had to quickly, off camera, it was just starting to pour out everywhere, and just pop the resin, because I didn't want it to leak out all over the floor, into this bowl. And obviously now all we've got is like a big black resin mess, really, which wasn't really kind of my plan. Although it might be all right once because again, we're not going to see a lot of the resin anyway, but I wanted to sort of get a bit of a I wanted to get some resin in it just to sort of give it some shape, but it's not really panned out. So I think this is too thin, and it's just started to sort of melt through it, really. It's way too thin, I think, for this project, and it was just going to pour out all over the floor, so I just quickly grabbed it off camera, stuck it in there, and that was it. Right, so I think what I'm going to do now is I don't know. I'll come back to you in a minute.
You're what the French call les incompetents.
What?
Right, I've knocked up some more resin, some red, and I've already put the piece in the pressure pot, and I'm gonna, because it's quite big, it sort of touches the sides almost. So I'm gonna just pour it in there like this, just mix this up. This is a slow hardener, so it's gonna take a while to kick in, but I'm fearing that this is just gonna end up with just a black, just it's gonna be a black whatever, so I'm going to pour this in here. I don't know. Yeah, it is, look. It needs to be secured down. Oh man. Right, I'm going to take this back out. I'm going to secure it down with some tape, put it back again. Right. Tape is on it. It's oh. Right, I'm going to put a bit more on, because I reckon that could go down a bit more than that. Ready? She's gone off. Right. So, colour's not too bad, actually. Let's unmold this. Wow, look at that. It wasn't the colour I was going with, but actually that does look pretty cool. Right, so I'm just turning this to round and there are an awful lot of cracks in this. Look at those. Now that is not good, because in a minute we're gonna have an explosion. So what I'm gonna try and do, I'm not sure why that's happened. Maybe the wood was a bit wet, a bit damp, and it's, I don't know, expanded. But it's looking quite cool. I think we can get a really cool looking piece out of this, but not as it is at the moment. So I'm going to try and get some resin in all these bits. I might have to make a little mold, try and fill it a little bit with some resin, because that's no good at the moment. Right, that's that done. Right folks, this has been in here now for a few nights. So I've left it for a little while, so here we go. Let's see what we've got. Right, let's get this bad boy out. Did it leak? And if it did it cover the cracks? I think it might have leaked. I don't know. I don't think it did leak. But I'm not too sure if it covered all the cracks up or not. Now, do I put a bit more resin in now? Because that was up here before. And then leave it another night or two. Or do you reckon that might have sealed the cracks? There's the crack there that I can see.
Alan! Alan!
Right, just chomping my way into this piece and we've still got our cracks. So that last bit of resin that we put in there kind of, well, didn't really do much, but there we go. I thought the resin was going to kind of get into the cracks and seal it up. Didn't do that. So this is the look at this wood. This is going to look so nice, polished up. This is going to look really, really cool, especially with some of the resin features in there as well. Bit of chip out, but we'll get rid of that. That's no worries. I'm just going to keep turning this around. We've got this big chunk here to get rid of, so so we get rid of that. And then I'm not too sure what I'm going to be making here. It's definitely not going to be a bowl, folks. I'm not going to be making a bowl. That is for sure. Something else with a bit more interest to this one. I really like the wood in there, so I want to try and keep as much of the wood in there as possible. So, but let's keep on turning. Oh yeah. Right, now at this stage I've got to be really, really gentle. Because one, this wood is really soft and I don't want to smash it up into bits. Got to go gently, gently. And C, I want to make sure this looks lovely, jubbly, but also evil Knievel. Right folks, this is where we've got so far. So I've carved out a little pattern in the bottom here of whatever we're going to be making. It's not a bowl. And got a little room in there for my emblem. So we've got my emblem here, which you've all seen. These are from Von Hank. So that pops in there just jubbly. Yay, lovely jubbly.
So what I'm going to do now, I've gone in and sanded this back now to about 240 grit. So you can see we've lost all the chip out now, but we do, boom, have this one crack left. All the other cracks have gone, but we've got this one little crack with a little bit of damage in here. I don't know what's happened there. It wasn't chipped out, it was just, I think it was like a bubble or something like that, but I don't want to go any smaller. I could like kind of try and carve it all out, but then I don't know, I'm going to lose more of the wood and I don't really want to do that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to squidge a little bit of milliput in there. And if you haven't seen milliput before, I'm sure you have, most of you, but it's this stuff. So a bit of black in there will be just jubbly. Squeeze it in there and that'll be dry in a couple of hours and then we can finish that side off. But for the moment, what we've all been waiting for, we're going to put a little bit of sanding sealer on this and look, this is the bit that's going to look really funky. Check this out.
It's looking groovy, baby.
Right, let's knock up a little tinkle of milliput. Now what you've got to do is mix this up real good. Just keep mixing it, kneading it and kneading it. A goose! Right, so I've added in the milliput, and that will just set now when we just sand this down. Once it's done, it won't take long, and it'll be just jubbly. You won't even know.
Hole filled. Now next up, we're going to be adding some true grit. Don't leave home without it. Now for the bit that I absolutely love, using machine wax.
I'm going to splodge this all over the place. It's going to be a beauty.
Looks like marble. Right, I've just flipped this over to start doing something with this side. Now, it's always important, just a little tip for you, if you're getting going in wood turning or anything, if you're flipping this over and you're doing up the chuck, make sure you tighten up both of these. There's two. There's two for a reason. They both need tightening.
Insertion.
This Sheila wax is absolutely incredible. It's getting me so excited. I can't believe the results.
Now, I used to put in, back in the day when I was wood turning, I used to put in these kind of little tops for the lid. And here's our lid. Look at that. That looks pretty awesome. So I'm wondering whether or not one of these pieces would look kind of cool in there. So we've got that one. We've got this one, which we could probably try and get in there. It needs to come out a bit. Potentially like that. Or a bit of this crystal. Look at that. I actually like that. I like that. I think that looks quite fancy. I'm gonna go with that.
That's it, folks. I hope that you did enjoy this video. If you did, please could you subscribe to this channel? It's just a little click away. Trust me, I'm gonna be smashing up lots more content these days. Now I'm getting myself back on track. And please check out today's sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. Come and join my clan. We can kick some butt together. Take care, folks, and I'll see you next week.